Samsung has unveiled its new range of flagship smartphones, the Galaxy Note 10, Note 10 Plus and Note 10 Plus 5G. The South Korean tech giant has ditched the headphone jack for the new models, which start at $950 and come with an upgraded stylus that uses air actions. Elizabeth joins us with more. Before we started talking about the stylus, I couldn't just put Apple in there because it sounded not like we were talking about an Apple device.
It does, and one of the reasons that Samsung is out with these phones at this time is to beat Apple, which has its event every September of the year, and that's when it is expected to release its latest lineup of iPhones. So a couple of features to look at in this new Galaxy Note lineup. The Note 10 Plus, which I just want to highlight, that's the more kind of premium version here. These are both flagship devices, but that Note 10 Plus has a 6.8-inch screen. This is a massive device when you think about the size of that screen. It's really geared towards kind of social media and video and people who want to create content using the 4-lens camera on the back. It is starting price of $1099, so this is not a cheap device. If you think about it, we are still in this $1,000 price range for these phones, and certainly Samsung is in that squarely here, competing with Apple, also competing here with Huawei, which we know is now the _2 smartphone seller globally. Huawei has continued to gain ground versus Samsung in recent quarters, and a lot of the features on this phone essentially appeal to those Huawei customers who've been drawn into some of those device features like the cameras and like the high-end charging systems. So a lot of play here between Samsung and Huawei, and ultimately we'll have to see what Apple comes with to compete with these phones next month.
Now, a lot of Huawei's rise has been linked to a rise in patriotic purchases, so effectively Chinese consumers buying Chinese phones. How does that play into Samsung's prospects for regaining market share that they've lost to Huawei?
So Samsung doesn't have a huge presence in China, and it hasn't really been focusing on that market for a while, and part of that is because of the dominance, not just of Huawei, but because of those other smartphone sellers that are Chinese made, Oppo, Xiaomi, huge presence in that market. Now, Samsung is the #1 seller in the world. That's important to look at. If you look at the market share, it has 23% of global market share, and Huawei has about 18% as of last quarter. So Samsung is still the leader here. And part of that is that Samsung has just continued to come out with these updates to its flagship devices like the Galaxy Note. Don't forget, too, we have the folds coming out supposedly later this year. That's that exciting new form of device, the foldable phone that Samsung says it's worked on the fixes for. So a little bit of teasing ahead to that later this year. Samsung really trying to say we continue to put out the devices that will keep us #1.
I don't think the consumers want expensive phones, do they? I mean, the data here is starting to suggest that $1,000 is proving a stubborn pricing point. So why are they still bringing the phones out?
We have seen that time and time again. They are trying to grasp that sliver of an audience that wants these really expensive devices and will upgrade every cycle for them. Now, there was a recent report out this week, which was interesting from I believe, UBS, that showed consumers are willing to pay up to $600 more than these current prices for a folding phone. So there are a small piece of consumers out there who really want these extra add-on features. It certainly is not the big share of consumers, but the bottom line here is that if they can get that slice of consumers, that is going to bring in the margins, and that's going to continue to deliver.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.